Hello and welcome to Miss Riley's Maths videos. This is a video for my Leaving Cert ordinary level students who are facing their paper 2 tomorrow. And we've practiced the trapezoidal rule a lot, but you may have forgotten how to use it. So here's a video to help you with the trapezoidal rule. So this is a question in relation to area and volume and perimeter. Okay, area and volume. You can hear the printer in the background, but it'll stop now in a moment. And the advantage of this question is that it tells us to use the trapezoidal rule. Okay, it's to find an estimate. So it's what's called an area approximation, but we're told to use the trapezoidal rule. So you're looking for this weird kind of shape, an irregular shape with wobbly edge that's divided into strips. That's the giveaway. Okay, here's another one that I'm going to do in a minute. There we have an irregular shape divided into strips. Okay, and each time we're told to use the trapezoidal rule. So the first thing we're going to do is find the trapezoidal rule. So here's our area, here's our formula and tables. Let's look for area and perimeter. Here's our index. Look at length and area, surface area and volume, and what's called area approximations. Now, if you don't remember in the exam that it's area approximations, you can still look through. So here we go. First page is blank. It says it's from page 8 onwards. So let's look and see. So here's our area and perimeter, 2D shapes, still 2D shapes. Here's our 3D shapes, our cylinder, our cone, and our sphere. Here's our frustum, which we don't do. Here's our prism. And there's a pyramid. You don't need to worry about him. And then over the page here, look, do you see the similarity? That's the formula, and that's what we're using. Now, the only problem with this formula is it looks horrible. There it is, the trapezoidal rule, not Simpson's rule. We're not using that. We're using the trapezoidal rule. And you notice it looks fairly horrible. And I'm going to tell you an English version of it in a minute, which might be easier to remember. But let's look at this one first and just talk through what it's saying. A is the area. The wobbly equals means it's an approximation. It's not an exact answer. Don't worry about that. H over 2. You can see H is the width of the strip. Y1 is the first length. Yn is the last length. Plus twice all the others. Y2, Y3, Y4, all the way through. This bit here is what wrecks people's heads. That means the second last height. So it doesn't mean we take one away from yn. It means it's the second last height. So let's just write this down on a bit of paper and we'll try and just kind of unpack it again. So this is the formula we're given. A is equal to h over 2 square brackets y1 plus yn plus 2 times y2 plus y3 plus y4 plus all the way up to yn minus 1. Close the roundy brackets, close the square brackets. So let's just say again what each of these stands for. H is the width of the strip. And that's the same width each time. Okay? That's the same width. H does not change. If that one is 5, that's 5, that's 5, and so on. H is the width of the strip. Y1 is the first length that's marked. That's at the very left-hand side. Left-hand side. Now, in a moment, we'll do an example where there is a length on the left-hand side. Oh, no, there isn't in this one. Look, there's nothing there. That place there is the very first Y. It's the first measurement, and it doesn't have a number beside it because it's 0. And we'll talk about that in a second. But if there's a straight up line like that, then that first measurement is Y1. Yn, that Yn is the last measurement on the right hand side. Okay, on the right hand side. So that's that one there. Okay. This thing here, yn minus 1, and this is where most people make their mistake. That's the second last length. Okay. So in R1 now, we'll see what that is. Second last, look, that 30 is the second last. Okay, it does not mean yn subtract 1. And then, so that's first, last, plus 2 times all the others. So when we talk about this in class, the way that I say the formula, I say the formula is area is equal to the first plus the last plus twice all the others. First plus last plus twice all the others. Okay, let's use this and we'll see how it goes. So we're quoting the trapezoidal rule. We've got our trapezoidal rule down here. We've also written down the English version. So if you want to, you can write down your lengths. Y1, well, H, first of all, H is 20. It's the width of the strip, 20. Y1 is 0. There's nothing written there because there's no straight line. That line goes all the way down to the ground, all the way down to the straight line. It's 0. So Y1 is 0. Y2 is 30. That's Y2. Y3 is 35. Y4 is 40. Y5 is 45. Y6 is 30. Y7 is 25. Y8 is 30. And Y9 is 40, which is the last. And that's the first. Now, each of these measurements is only going in the formula one time. Okay, each of them is only going in one time. Y1, it's only there once. Yn, the last height, is only there once. All of these are only there once, and the H only goes in there once. So you should never be using a number twice. So area equals the first, sorry, H over 2, I forgot that bit. H over 2. Let's just write it again. H over 2, first plus last plus twice all the others. Now, remember FIFA, formula, information, fill, answer. So formula is written down. Let's put in the information. We're filling it in now. 20 is the H because it's the width of the strip. 20 over 2, 20 over 2. The first is 0. The last is 40 plus 2 times all the others. Now I'm going to run out of space here, but we'll just try and squeeze it in. Okay. All the others. So I've used that guy and I've used that guy. So it's twice all the others. 30 plus 35 plus 40 plus 45 plus 30 plus 25 plus 30. Now, you shouldn't go outside the box, but I've done so there, but hopefully you won't go outside the box. So let's do that again. H was 20, the width of the strip. The first was 0. It's got no straight line, so there's no number written beside it, so it's 0. The last is 40. The last one on the very right-hand side is 40. And then all the others go here. 30 plus 35 plus 40 plus 45 plus 30 plus 25 plus 30. Now, what I'm going to do now is just stick all that in my calculator. Okay? So I know the display doesn't work very well, but I'm just going to stick it in here. Maybe you'll be able to see it. So 20, so I'm going to do fraction, 20 over 2. I'm going to open a bracket. It's 0 plus 40. I'm going to open another bracket. No, I'm not, because it's plus 2. Sorry, plus 2 bracket. 30 plus 35 plus 40 plus 45 plus 30 plus 25 plus 30. I'm going to close, that's the roundy bracket, and then I'm going to close the other bracket that I put at the start equals, and I get 5,100. So once I've subbed it fully into the calculator, I can just stick it in my calculator. I don't have to work it through in my head. I can if I want, but there's a risk there that I'll get things mixed up. Whereas if I put it in my calculator, I'm going to get 7 out of 10, I would expect here, anyway, for filling it all fully correctly into my formula. And then I stick it in my calculator and work it out. So that's 5,100 meters squared is the area of that shape. Let's do one more. Why don't you try this one? Pause the video. You try this one, and I'll do it now in a moment. Okay, so you've tried that, I hope. Let's write down our formula. It's the trapezoidal rule. Where's our formula? Our formula is here. Let's write it down. Area is h over 2 by y1 plus yn plus twice y2 plus y3 plus y4 plus dot 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 plus yn minus 1. And remember, in English, that's h over 2 by first plus last plus twice all the others. So let's look at this one and see. It's a bit different. You see, it's actually a double shape. It could have been drawn with a line through it there, a top and a bottom, but we can actually do it all in one go. Okay, so here's our first, no, hang on, our h first of all. Our h is 200. Okay, now our first is y1. Our first again is 0. There's no straight up line there with a measurement on it. So our y1 is 0. Our y2 is 430. Our y3 is 510. Y4 is 450. Y5 is 360. And y6 is 440. Now remember, that's our last. That's our first. And these are all the others. Okay, so let's stick it into our formula. A is equal to 200 over 2, h over 2, 200 over 2. The first is 0. The last is 440 plus 2 times 430 plus 510. I've done it again. Hopefully you're better at staying in the box. Plus 550 plus 360. Okay. And then again, I just stick that in my calculator. Let's just do it again. h over 2, 200 over 2. That's fine. The first was 0. 0 plus the last is 440 plus 2 times all the others. 430 plus 510 plus 450 plus 360 and work it out. So let's plug it in. 2, and I'm going to put it on as a fraction, 200 over 2 bracket 0 plus 440 plus 2 bracket 430 plus 510 plus 450 plus 360 close bracket. See it all put in there? Equals 394,000. Okay, 394,000, and it's going to be meters squared. Estimate the area in meters squared. Okay, I hope that's useful. Take care. Bye bye.